Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another beautiful day here in Japan. Today we're gonna be doing something fun. Let me go inside. I love starting the video outside, especially when it's such a nice day outside, because it just makes me feel motivated and it just feels good being outside. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be making one of these. This is a little Anubias Nana Petite farm or grow out jar, and anyone can make one of these. Now, it doesn't need to be Anubias Nana Petite. Today I'm gonna be making one using Bucephalandra sintang. Bucephalandra sintang. And here's my Anubias Nana Petite. You can see it's looking really nice. When I first started, I don't know if I have clips of it when I first made this, but there was a lot less and it has grown quite a fair amount. But instead of doing a little jar today, I am going to make it a little bit bigger using one of these containers. Before we get started with this, I want to go outside, take a look at the mini rice fish ponds, because some of them are looking really good and some of them not so good. So we gotta do an update and some maintenance on them. Alright, first pond we gotta look at is my own pond that I set up almost a year ago. And this one is looking good. We're gonna have to fill it up with water because the water level is a little bit low. I think there might be a leak in this because you can see the bottom. There is some water. I don't know. You can see it's a bit wet down there, so there might be a leak because it does lose water quite quickly. That's why I've got this bucket of water right here, so I can refill it up whenever the water gets low. And I don't dechlorinate this, I just let it sit out here for a day or two, and then the chlorines will evaporate by themselves, so it's very easy. So it's really hard to see the rice fish in here because of how densely planted this is, but you can still see them. Look, there's one right there. And when you give them food, they'll all come out. But we've also got a critter in here that's pretty cool. Look at this. Right at the back there, there's a little grasshopper, and he's just eating all the lily pads. You can see right here too. I saw him nibbling on this yesterday, so he must be having a good time. And now you can see he's just taking chunks out of this, but I'll just let him be. For this pond, I don't really do water changes. I just top up with water because this one doesn't really get dirty. And look, when it's full, there's actually more space for the fish to swim around, and now you can see them a lot better. And don't worry, the grasshopper is still right there. He's having the time of his life, getting to live on his own food. Like, he stays here the whole time. He was here yesterday, the day before. He's just having it all. But yeah, the rice fish are looking amazing. Now we're gonna take a look at all of these mini ponds and the one right here. Look how the plants are growing from that. That's crazy. They're growing like crazy. And then I've got my slippers on right here. New slippers. They're actually my uncle's and they're too small for me. But yeah, let's go and take a look. So this right here is a new setup that my aunt just brought back. Her friend gave these to her, and these are little blue rice fish, and they're still little babies. There's one adult right here, but I'm really excited to see how these babies look like when they grow up. You can see how simply set up this is. Let me go through with you. So you've got the ceramic bowl, and then the substrate inside is this Akadama substrate, which is a red clay-based substrate. Oh look, there's one right here. Okay, let me get that. So yeah, just a red focus. Just a red clay-based substrate. Let's drop this in. And then you've got the plants. Any plant will do. Water hyacinth. This is like pennywort or hydrocotyl verticillata, and she took this from my mini pond that you saw just now, and yeah, just chucked it in there. I think she didn't even cycle this. She just put water in, and then the day after she put the fish in. So rice fish are super hardy, because this here as well, this is our water change bucket like the one I showed you earlier as well. I have my own, they have their own, and there's babies growing in here, and this is like chlorinated water. I don't know why babies are hatching out and growing in here, because look at that, you can see the babies right there. There's a ton of them swimming in here. When rice fish breed, they lay eggs every single day on these floating plants, on the roots of the floating plants. So my aunt just takes them out, put them in here, and the babies just hatch, and now they're growing in the water change bucket. So that's kind of crazy. When rice fish breed, they'll breed like crazy, so you'll end up with a ton of them. So you'll need places to put them, and this is what will happen. You'll just get loads of mini ponds like this. If you have aquariums, then that's good. But something I want to do in the future is I want to create a pond where I can put all the little rice fish, have a whole mix of them, and like a huge pond on the ground, like dig a hole and put a liner in, and I don't know, but do a big pond. Doesn't have to be so deep, and that's where all the little rice fish will go. So we'll have a colorful bunch of rice fish swimming in that pond. That's something I'm hoping to do in the future. So here's my mini pond that I set up, and the water clarity is terrible. It's just green water, and you can see the rice fish are loving it though. They're super active. They just want food in here. Look at them, they'll follow you. But yeah, I've got to do a water change on this. So I just took out some water from here, and this is what I wanted to show you. Look at that, can you guys see that? The dwarf hairgrass is starting to carpet really nicely. Remember when I set this up, I said it would be really cool if the dwarf hairgrass from this little wabikusa would start to carpet out, and that's happening. So I'm really happy about that, because this hairgrass came from this little ball. So yeah, it's making its way around. Look at that. Now I've just got to fix this algae problem and the green water problem, and the best way I can think of is to add another plant in here, or maybe some floating plants to suck in some of that nutrients. But take a look at the dwarf hairgrass. It is looking really nice. Really happy with that. You can see the pond looks much clearer than when we first started off. Now let's go back inside and start the mini farm Anubias Bucephalandra build, whatever you call it. So the first thing you're gonna need is a container, and what I used for the Anubias is this glass little jar. It's got a nice clear cover so you can see inside, and so that light gets through it. But today I'm gonna be using one of these that I got at the dollar store. If you want, you can go for something even smaller like this, but the smaller it is, the less room the plants have to grow. And if your main focus was to grow plants really quick and you're really committed, then you could use a tank, but I'm not gonna do that. I kind of like the jar because you can keep it on your desk and you can watch it every day and just simply open it up and give it a good misting. But yeah, today I'm going for something bigger. So you'd want a container, preferably with a clear lid. This one is not 100% clear, but it's alright for Anubias and Bucephalandra because these plants don't require high lighting. Next up, you're gonna need your substrate, and this is what I'm using today. This right here is a bag of anthracite. You can't really see it clearly right now, but it's kind of similar to activated carbon. You can use other substrates such as gravel, you can use potting soil, you can use ADA soil. It doesn't have to be ADA, but you can use Amazonia soil. But I'm going with this because I've got this left over and it works. So there it is, anthracite, and as I said, you can use any substrate you want. Soil would probably be the best, it would probably help your plants grow the fastest, but I had these on hand and this is relatively cheap. So next up, we're gonna prepare the plants. Usually the plants have some long roots. Right now you can see they're still really short, so that's why they're easy to pick off. If you look at my Anubias, they have grown quite a bit. You can see like the roots have grown like crazy, so that's really cool. So hopefully that'll happen with these guys. You can see the substrate is very loose, so you want to get this all wet. So you've got the substrate ready, you've got the plants ready. Now you can start planting them. And because these Bucephalandra don't have long roots, I'm not gonna need tweezers, pincets for this, and I can just place them gently on top of this. And there it is. That's really all there is to it. If you wanted to, you can add some moss, kind of for decoration purposes, and it also holds water in very well. So like this, if you want to, you can add the moss. Right now, I don't have any of this moss on hand. This moss right here is called spiky moss. I could use some Christmas moss, but I want to save this for a future project. And yeah, for now, this is really good enough. I really like this product. This is Dua's Wabikusa Mist. It's like a fertilizing spray, as well as it keeps bugs and stuff like flies away from your plants. So you just give this like a good spray, a good misting, and the plants will do really well. This is what I've been doing for this. I spray it almost every day. Also, this thing smells incredible. Every time I spray this, I start smelling the jar, because it just smells, it's like a minty smell, and it's really nice. But if you can't find this, I'm sure you can find something similar at your garden center, or maybe you can create something of your own, like use some aquarium fertilizers mixed with water and use it as a spray. That could work. In the future, I'm gonna upgrade these. Once the Bucephalandra starts growing some roots, I'm gonna upgrade them into a bigger tank. And it's not gonna be like a farm, but something you guys have never seen before, and I'm really excited to bring that to you. So make sure you stay tuned for that. The Planted 60 right here is looking really fresh. Really happy with how it's doing. I'm gonna call this the Planted 60 from now on. I kind of like that. Really short, simple. Planted 60 right here. You can see the fish are really healthy. And here's Anubias Nana Petite, grown submerged in water. It's looking great. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So many more updates to come, so many projects that I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. Like Squad, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you next time.